My name is Emily Carter, and I never imagined that one simple request for my son would open the door to one of the most meaningful nights of our lives. My son Daniel had just turned 16. And while I had watched him grow from a boy who loved playing with toy cars into a young man who was starting to care about his appearance, his voice, and even the way his hair looked in the mirror, nothing could have prepared me for what he asked me one Friday afternoon when I got home from work. I had barely set down my purse when Daniel walked into the kitchen, his face flushed, and his hands shoved nervously into the pockets of his jeans. He wasn't the type to look nervous often, but I could tell something was different that day. "Mom," he began, his voice cracking just a little. "Can I ask you something kind of important?" I smiled, already sensing that whatever he wanted to say was weighing heavily on him. "Of course, honey. You can always ask me anything. What's on your mind?" He shifted his weight from one foot to the other, avoiding my eyes for a moment before blurting it out. "It's about the school dance next week. I've never been to one before. And well, I don't know how to do any of it. I don't know how to dress, how to act, or even if I'm supposed to, dance with someone. I don't want to look like an idiot in front of everyone." For a moment, I just stared at him, realizing what he was really asking. It wasn't just about the dance. It was about him stepping into a new phase of his life. My son was growing up, and he wanted my help to guide him through his first time at something that mattered deeply to him. I set my purse down and reached out to place a hand on his shoulder. "Daniel, you're not going to look like an idiot. Everyone feels nervous about their first dance. But if you want, I can help you get ready for it. We'll figure it out together." The relief that spread across his face was priceless. It was like I had lifted a huge weight off his shoulders. He nodded eagerly. "Thanks, Mom. I really need this." What I didn't realize then was that preparing my son for his first dance would take me on a journey of reflection, laughter, and tears. It wasn't just about picking the right clothes or teaching him a few steps. It was about teaching him confidence, respect, and how to handle one of life's first big milestones. Over the next week, our house became a place of preparation and transformation. On Saturday morning, we drove to the mall together. Daniel hated shopping, usually groaning when I dragged him along for school clothes. But this time he was different. He actually cared. We walked through stores, and he looked at suits and shirts with a seriousness I'd never seen in him before. After trying on several options, he finally stepped out of the dressing room, wearing a dark navy suit with a crisp white shirt. I nearly teared up seeing him. He wasn't just my little boy anymore. He looked like a young man ready to face the world. "Daniel," I said softly, my voice catching, "you look incredible. That's the one." He gave a shy grin, tugging at the sleeves. "You really think so?" "I don't just think so. I know." So, that night I decided we needed to practice something even more important than clothing. "Okay, Daniel," I said after dinner, "if you're going to the dance, you might want to know how to, actually dance, even if it's just slow dancing." His eyes widened. "Mom, you're not serious." "Oh, I'm completely serious," I replied, standing up and extending my hand toward him. "Come on, if you can learn with me, you'll be fine with anyone else." At first he laughed nervously, shaking his head, but eventually with some playful coaxing, he took my hand. We stood in the middle of the living room, the hum of the ceiling fan filling the silence, and I guided him through the basics of a slow dance. He kept stepping on my feet, and we both burst out laughing every time. "Sorry, Mom," he chuckled after the third time. "Don't apologize. That's why we're practicing," I said, smiling at him. Little by little, he loosened up, the stiffness in his shoulders melted away, and soon he was moving more naturally. I taught him how to lead gently, how to keep his movements smooth, and most importantly, how to look comfortable even when he felt nervous. By the end of the night, I could tell he was already more confident. "See?" I said, ruffling his hair like I used to when he was younger. "You've got this." The days flew by, and when the night of the dance finally arrived, Daniel stood in front of the mirror, adjusting his tie nervously. I walked in, holding back the tears that threatened to spill. "You're going to do great, sweetheart," I whispered. He turned to me, his eyes shining with both nerves and excitement. "Mom, thanks for helping me. I don't think I could have done this without you." As I watched him leave for the dance that night, I realized that what I had given him wasn't just help with clothes or dancing. I had given him the gift of belief in himself, and what he gave me in return was a reminder that no matter how old he got, no matter how independent he became, he would always need me in some way. Later, when he came home, his face was glowing. "Mom," he said breathlessly. It was amazing. I even asked a girl to dance, and she said yes. I hugged him tightly, my heart full. That night wasn't just his first dance. It was the beginning of him stepping into adulthood, and I was honored that I got to be the one to guide him through.